I'm not entirely sure when I should start. They said just start whenever you're ready. Are you ready? Should we wait for another minute or two? See if there's someone else who has nothing better to do, who'd like to join us here today and hear the shit I have to say. No? No? We should start. Are you ready to start? Should we begin? Are you ready to start? We should begin, yeah? I was hoping that maybe like 200 people would run in here all of a sudden. Okay, cool. How are you doing today? Very good, clap. I have completely new material today, which makes me a little bit nervous, but I'm excited because it's very, very good. This presentation I'm going to do today is called This is Connection, about how we connect to other people, about what we believe connection is. And to make this presentation much more interesting, I'm going to rely on the wisdom of some friends of mine from very far away, from the Colombian mountains. They are indigenous people, the Arhuacos. This is a friend of mine. His name is Moises. He belongs to one of the 3 tribes that inhabit the Sierra Nevada mountains of Colombia. These tribes, for about maybe a couple of hundred years, maybe a millennia or so, but for as long as they can remember at least, they have been performing rituals which are supposed to maintain the delicate balance of nature and preserve humanity. This is what they believe in. They refer to us as the little brother. Someone who's a little bit stupid, someone who is not very educated, but someone who deserves our love and who deserves, love and education nonetheless. This is where I stayed with these beautiful people, and I will be conveying their wisdom through 3 cases, through 3 lessons that they learned, and I will be applying them to technology, okay? All right, first things first, let's begin. The first thing I would like to do is I would like you to turn your telephones off. Ow! Ay, 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 no, don't ask me to do that. Please, turn them off. If we're going to talk about connection, we may as well do it right, right? I would also like, no, I think you turning off your phones might be just about enough. Turn them off, please. Okay, very good. Can we bring the lights down a little bit as well? Okay. Very good. Okay. I would like you to take a deep breath and exhale. Again. And exhale. I'd like you to close your eyes right now and just breathe. Just breathe. Just share the air, share the space. Okay, you can come back. All right. Let me ask you something. People, I've never done this experiment before, but I'm very curious. Did any of you feel anything? Did you feel anything? Let's make an assumption for a moment that you only have 5 senses. Hearing, sound, sight, smell, taste, touch, okay? That's it. All right, let's just assume. But tell me, did you feel anything while you were in silence? Who felt something? Hunger. Okay, very good. That's a good one. What did you feel? Calm. Very good. Did anybody feel anything else? Your bag. Okay. Okay, you were present with your bag between your legs. Okay, that's very good. Anybody else? Anticipation. Very good. Was anybody frustrated at all? Did anybody say, this guy's an idiot? Like, my time is precious. Anybody? Did anybody say, what is this nonsense? No? Well, somebody must have thought I'm stupid. Nobody at all? No? Here's the thing. Despite the fact that you were all sensorially experiencing the same thing, the same silence, your experience was different. You felt different things. And this is the first thing I want to discuss when we're going to talk about connection, because when you connect with something from the outside, you are painting the experience from the inside as well. You, my friend, are hungry. That is a very personal, individual experience. For example, again, maybe I'm tired at the end of the day. That is me painting the experience in my own way. But here's the other thing, that feeling itself, the feeling inside, is what creates connection. Okay? I'm letting you, at this moment, just at this moment, connect with yourselves. I'm hungry. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. Okay? So these are the two things I would like you to take from this at the moment. Now, if you have a feeling, okay? Feelings are the way that we resonate with other people as well. That's the way we connect, okay? If I, for example, I smile at you. You smile? Connection, okay? It's connection. It's your feelings that say, something resonated. Something clicked. Something went, I understood the joke. That is connection. If I say, I love you, connection, okay? When we have the opportunity to be with a person in a very intimate, closed space, and there is silence, you can almost read their emotions. You can almost hear them thinking. It's like an experience I have with my wife very often. I'm walking at the shop, I may be here, and I start looking over there, and she's like, don't look at that girl. I'm like, wow, how did you know? You know? Or I'm looking at something and it says, it will be too expensive. Okay, fine. You feel each other. Do you know why? Because we're empathetic. We read other people's feelings, right? I see you're a little bit tired. I see you're not feeling well today. But we can only do that if we are in pristine silence, if we are present, okay? So that is why it is very important to respect the silence, so we can hear each other. So I'm seeing you, I can almost hear you think, okay? Does this make sense? So far, so good? Let me tell you how I learned this beautiful experience. I learned this experience in the jungles of Colombia. When I got back from my first trip, I came down, I was frustrated. People were like, whoa, you were with the Indians for like 2 weeks? That's so cool. What did they tell you? I said, they told me nothing. They did nothing. I was sitting at the fire. You said, hello, you bring an offering. They're like, who are you? He's the white guy. Hey, fine. No one spoke to me. I said, it's very frustrating. He says, no, this is a token of appreciation. It means your brain is not to be fucked with. Yeah. They can enjoy the silence together with you. It's something that we reserve only for our girlfriends. Our wives no longer, because you enjoy the silence all the time. But no, baby, I love you. I'm sorry. Don't get angry. For people we have very intimate relationships with. So what this means is that they were allowing me to enjoy the silence with them. My uncle, he was up there like a month before, and he said, they fucked with my brain, you have no idea. It was like going to therapy with a shrink, with a barman, with my mother, with Freud, Jung, like everybody wrapped up, because they're like, hey, you're thinking too loud. So what's wrong? It's like, hey, you have problems with your wife. It's like, how do you know? So what I'm saying is that if you can appreciate the silence with somebody, if you can enjoy this pristine, crystal clear connection, that is sacred. It's no coincidence that when somebody dies or when something important is happening, what do? We hold the space in silence. It's a beautiful experience. Make sense? Yeah? Okay, now let me ask you a question. In the digital world, is it possible to hold silence? This is a very good question. Because like if you're not active on Facebook, people will just think, you just logged off, man. What happened? Or you can call your friends and go, hey! It's like, hey! It's like, I'm on Skype, just be with me. It doesn't work. The digital realm is all about noise. And every time there's more and more and more noise. There is no silence. Let me give you a very good example of how this works. Say you're in a group of friends with like 5 or 10 people, and you're sitting there, you're talking, you're discussing something, and all of a sudden, someone throws a really terrible joke. Racist, sexist, feminist, terrible joke, right? And everybody just goes. The silence kills. The silence kills comedians. The silence kills people who want to connect also. But that is a tool we do not have in the digital realm. So the first lesson for you today from these Indians is just enjoy the silence. Cool? We're good? You good? Thank you. Okay, very good. All right. Let's move on. Feeling is everything, okay? I'm a person who really loves emotional intelligence. It's my thing. I have a fetish. That's the reason I play music. I love it. Because music allows me to connect with other people, to establish connection. Yeah. And as I said that feeling is everything, there's another individual who would agree with me. And that individual is Maslow. You may know that Maslow made this beautiful pyramid, right? It's a brilliant pyramid. But tell me, out of these 5 needs, which ones are physical and which ones happen in the emotional realm? Anybody? Anybody? It's too difficult for you? It's too difficult? It's a bit difficult for me. I've simplified this equation. Alive or survive. Okay? Feelings make us feel alive. All our feeling, all our connection happens in the emotional realm. Once you are surviving, all you want to do is feel alive. And ladies and gentlemen, we are not computers. We are not reasonable or rational beings. We are quantum electrochemical computers with all kinds of whims and desires. Let me demonstrate. I go, bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. Girls, are you feeling this? Yeah. But you know what the funny thing is? Is it works on the guys too. Bésame, bésame mucho. And that's connection right there. It's an emotional connection. You feel it? Mm-hmm. And we can do another thing. What if I ask you to clap? It's awful. Stop clapping. We're going to do a little clap training. This is Lithuanian style of clapping. Very simple. Let's make it a bit more interesting. Try American style. 2. Yeah. 2. 2. Yeah. Spanish. This one's a good one. Russian estrada. Okay. All right, mix it up. Oh, look, connection. Look, you're feeling this together. You're all singing. Look, you're clapping together. Try singing it with me. Come on. Bésame. Come on. Ah, sexy. Bésame mucho. Ah. Como si fuera esta noche la última vez. That's connection. It's you connecting with me, with the song, with other people here. It's amazing. It's very amazing. I like it. That's why I do this kind of thing, because I like to play with people's emotions. But there's something deeper here as well. There's another way that you're connecting, which is very significant. And I'll show you the way it works. It's this little trick I have. All musical. Webahe. The artist gives you the dots. You create music in your imagination. The emotion stirred by a painting is not confined by the canvas. That book that you are reading, it isn't happening on paper. You listen to a couple of chords and something is triggering in your brain. You feel a deep, strange desire and you want to externalize it. So come on, externalize it. You want to externalize it, yeah? Sing, externalize it. What song is it? Come on, try it out. What? Ah, you know it. Look at that. What? Sing it. Go ahead. You know it. Okay, thank you very much. See, this is very beautiful. Do you know why? Because all of a sudden you feel connection with other people and say, hey, you know Guantanamera too. Connection, connection. You say, I have the same values. I've danced naked on a table at 3 a.m., half naked on a table, go, Guantanamera, wow. You say, we have something in common. You have common experience. Now, there are people who say, you know, Guantanamera is just not my song. I'm too old. I have too much taste for Guantanamera. They'll be more like... My side, you get it, right? Another person will be like, may say, no, that's not the satisfaction for me. The satisfaction for me is, I can get no satisfaction, right? And again, you're connecting to people. Just because you have the same triggers and responses, somewhere deep inside you, you are connecting. And that's what I love about music, is that in a sense, it is like artistic alchemy, right? Social alchemy, where I'm basically bringing you together where there was nothing before. And again, the point of resonance is feeling. We good with this? You understand where I'm going? Very nice, okay. Now, I have made this very simple, this equation here, alive or survive. You cannot start thinking about your feelings unless you're surviving, right? Safety needs, physiological needs. But downstairs, we are basically binary computers. Have or do not have. Hungry, not hungry. Sleepy, not sleepy. Cold, not cold. And the rest is very complicated. It's very, 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 very complicated. And one of the conclusions I've come to is that we, as human beings, are very good at making bad decisions. That is what defines us. Those shoes, they're so beautiful. I can't afford them, but I want them. No, I shouldn't have another beer. I have to go to work tomorrow. Right? This is normal for us human beings. We do it all the time. All the time. And there's a very beautiful lesson to be learned here. And I learned it from my precious children. These guys. They're pretending to meditate. Don't take them seriously. So my kids, right? We go to Colombia a while back. And I tell my kids, listen, boys, this is arequipe. Arequipe is like drugs for kids. That's fantastic. It's pure sugar and dairy products. So it's like condensed milk with a lot of sugar, right? So I tell my kids, oye, pranas, santanas, look, arequipe for you. 1, okay, 2 arequipes, that's it. Because my grandmother, she was generous. She gave the kids the whole bag of arequipe, right? Oye, 2 arequipes, that's it. 2, pa. I come back after like an hour, the kids are like, I'm like, what happened? We ate all the arequipe. I'm like, well, why? I told you not to do it. It was so good. We couldn't help ourselves. And for me, that is beautifully human. We were irrational beings. We are emotional beings. We like nice things. We love besame, besame mucho. We love this shit. That is what is human. So, you know, I told the kids, I said, okay, you're beautiful. I love you. You're good human beings. So I gave them more arequipe, which is a natural thing to do. So I'm not surprised that we're scared when we talk about machines with feeling, okay? Because we talk about machines with feeling, I mean, who wants a machine who's just like unreasonable and is a bit like unpredictable? I'm a musician, I use machines all the time, and I have a symbiotic tie with these things right here. It's like, baby, it's not working. Well, anyways, see, it's a capricious thing. It's emotional. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It has character. I shit you not. This can play a steady beat, but if you want to make it more human, you can add a humanize function. Do you know what the humanize function does? Want to guess what it does? It just messes things up. It makes it more human. My guitars, I also have a very personal experience with them. This one is called Reina, as in queen. I have one which is called Gloria, which is a guitar that sounds glorious, but she's very unreliable because she breaks strings. The other one I have is called Esperanza, which is hope. She's very reliable. So this shows you how we have certain anthropomorphic relations with these things, right? But you want them to be human only to a certain extent, not too much. Do you people drive cars? Have you noticed that sometimes you talk to your car? And usually it's when it's giving you shit. Come on, one more time, baby. Come on, one more time. Just come on, one more time. It's normal. We think that they will listen. With this stuff, it's the same thing. You have a very personal relationship, for good and bad. You know the first atomic bombs were called Fat Man and Little Boy? Tell me, baby, you're so wonderful. You're gonna blow up all those Japanese. For better or for worse. For better or for worse. We have relationships with this, but sometimes when it gets too human, it gets very complicated. It gets very complicated. And it happens to humans too. I think I call this the bitchiness tolerance coefficient. It's how much human you can handle. And I apply this when I was looking for a mate, my wife. Because and this is not only exclusively for women. This is for guys too, because I can be a bitch as well, right? So what you look for in a couple is somebody who's bitchy but just right. Because if they're not bitchy enough, they're fucking boring. You know, they're like, but you have such a plain, one-dimensional personality, like, ugh. If they're too bitchy, they'll drive you crazy. They'll make you cut your ear off or shoot yourself or shoot someone else. It's too difficult. So what you want to find is someone who's just right for you, just right for you. Now, what you have to keep in mind is that the bitchiness tolerance coefficient, I put a star there because it's mine. If you use it, you have to use it. It changes over time. It changes over time. So you may marry a person in your 20s which has a bitchiness coefficient of, say, 3, but you will see by the time they hit 60, it has evolved to a ripe 3 or 4. So you need to account for this, okay? With machines, it's similar. Like, you don't want them to be too bitchy. Like, you talk to Siri, you know your Siri on the phone? Hey, Siri, and sometimes it's like, ha, 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 that's, yeah. But then you can have other examples, like you remember Hal in Space Odyssey 2001? He's like, oh, I want to do things my way. It's like, no, Hal, no, please don't do it. Or did you watch this movie, Her? Yeah? I was wondering one thing. Amanda, she decided to leave. Like a normal girlfriend would leave, right? She's like, I just can't, like, I've had enough of you, bye. Fuck. And I'm wondering, did the guy get his money back? No, seriously, because this is supposed to be a machine. But clearly, there was too much bitchiness coefficient in this machine. Too much to make us feel comfortable. If you really want to humanize a machine when people are creating artificial intelligence, I have one suggestion. I would suggest they do the following. They tie the coding to a horoscope and factor that in. So depending if it's a Libra, Pisces, it gives you different answers. If you really want to make it human. I think that's brilliant. Have you heard of this? The Turing test. The Turing test basically is what defines if a machine is intelligent. I don't want to mix terms with emotions or something, but basically what it does is if you have a machine and it can trick you into believing that it is a human, it has passed the Turing test. It has been around for over 30, 40 years. It's brilliant. But here's the interesting thing. In the past 10 or 15 years, they have been doing these tests more. And what they have discovered is that the tests that usually pass these tests, the machines, are erratic, are they seem emotional. They don't always give direct answers. They're very much like human, right? So it's very strange. We have a contradiction. We want our machines to be more human. We want to interface with them. We want to talk to the machines. Siri, find me a pizza or something. But not too much. Not too much. Oh, wait, this is... So my conclusion here, it comes twofold. The first thing is that a machine, we are scared of machines. We are scared of artificial intelligence. And there's two reasons. One is because we're scared of our own emotions as human beings. It's like, even in the workplace, if someone's too emotional, you should go home, you should go to a therapist. I don't need an emotional machine right now. No, no, no. The second thing is very interesting. It's something that Isaac Asimov described as the Frankenstein complex. Now, the Frankenstein complex basically says is that it's difficult for us to love a robot man, right? When he wrote one of his stories. And this is exactly what happened to Frankenstein. Now, imagine Frankenstein. Imagine Frankenstein. He wakes up, and who's greeting him? A dude with like a white robe, and he's like, oh, you're such a frustration. How's Frankenstein supposed to feel? And that is the problem with Frankenstein, the original, Mary Shelley's. He's just looking for love. He's like, my creator, let's bond. He's like, fuck off, right? He's like, create a wife for me. He's like, you're an abomination. I don't want to do it. Poor Frankenstein, right? So, okay, this is like science fiction, but imagine this, artificial intelligence. People creating artificial intelligence. Say one of them becomes emotional, wakes up, holy shit, where am I? A whole bunch of guys, a whole bunch of nerds and lab rats saying, oh, let's tweak this, let's tweak that. How are you feeling today? You feeling good? And it makes me wonder, again, are we going to repeat the same mistake that Mary Shelley wanted us to avoid? Is that we need to show love and affection to our technology. Why? I'll explain it. But what I learned from the Indians is that God is in the machines. This guy, like, I shit you not, we were sitting, having tea, and I asked this dude, I don't know why I asked him, we were just saying, he said, listen, is God in the machine? And he said, yeah, God is in everything. God is an extension of you. Now, I want to sit a little bit on this concept of God, because I'm not talking about God in a religious or dogmatic way. It's basically connection with everything. With everything. Everything, everything. Like, everything is God. They try to be connected with nature, with the processes in nature, with other human beings and other people. They want to feel it, okay? So when they say that God is in everything, is that basically everything is in the machine. Our worst habits, our needs, our whims, everything is in these machines we created. They reflect us. They reflect the best of us and the worst of us. So what they say is like, the guy says like, no, God is in the machine. If you want the machine to be better, you need to be a better individual. You need to be a better person. And then you start thinking about this paradigm, you know? The creator created the created, created the created. Man, we're just over-evolved monkeys. We were created by other over-evolved monkeys, which a couple of millennia back were just amoebas. So isn't it natural that, okay, someone else is going to evolve from us, and what we give them is what they will become, but ultimately we're all the same? Huh? No? It's too difficult for you? No? Okay, it's okay, it's okay. I mean, this is tough. But basically what he was saying, as above, so below, as within, as without. They are just an extension of who we are. And that's it. Okay? Now there's a footnote, a quite interesting one. This week, or a couple of days ago, Google's artificial intelligence, the really smart computer they have, right? It has just now started to create its own artificial intelligence. They said, hey, listen, maybe you can make some code to help you out. And it started creating its own artificial intelligence. And guess what? That code is better than the one which was created by human beings. It's much like a father with a child. Oh, I'm better at bearing and rearing code than you guys are. Oh. It's interesting. Okay. Third part. Third part is, it revolves around the little thing I came up with. It's very cool. It's very cool. And it revolves around shit. Yeah. This is a pile of poop. And I have separated the world into 3 categories of people. The category of people who see a pile of poop on the street and they go, that's not my shit. Whoop. No, 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 not touching that. No, no. They just go. The third group of people are the group of people which go, there's shit on the street. Boom, God, let's just take care of this entirely. The second group of people, which is much like most of us are, they see the pile of shit and they go, someone should do something about this. Maybe I should do something about it. So they do the poop dance. They're like, yeah, no, maybe I'll pick it up, maybe not. I don't know, I don't have time. And somebody should pick up the poop. And even if they don't pick up the poop, that night they'll be in bed going, I really should have picked up the poop. You know? This is really deep for me. Because it really ties in with the story that these Indians taught me. Right? This is where they live now. This is the city of Navusimake, where my friend lives when he's up there. And it's all villages, all around the mountain. But these guys, before they used to have a proper city. 800 years ago, 10,000 people in the jungle with terraces and everything. And nobody knows why, at some point, these Indians, they decided to leave the city. There was no plague, there was no invasion, there was no disease, there was nothing, no war, nobody knows what happened. They just left. One day, this guy, my friend, he says, you know why this happened? I'm like, no, 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 no. It's like, tell me. It's like, okay, look. What happened was that we started to evolve as Indians, and we said, hey, let's make a city. Sure, everything would be much more efficient. Of course. Okay, let's get together. Good. Let's distribute the labor. Yeah. Let's distribute the functions. Yeah. Who wants to rear the children? Oh, okay, you. Who wants to grow the crops? You. Okay, who, you. Who wants to rule this? Yeah, everybody, like, yeah. It's like, no, okay, only you can do it, okay. Okay, who wants to clean the poop? No, listen, you're gonna have to clean the poop, I'm sorry. And what they understand is that they started to have social, political struggle within the city. So what they said, according to him, is that they just disbanded. They said, you know what, living with you is fantastic, but we're not becoming better people. We're not better people because we're together. So what they do is they live all across the mountain and they meet 2 or 3 times a year for the rituals. So they check up, how you doing, how's your aunt, how's your business, how's everything, okay, fine, and they reconnect with nature. Right? Okay, so here, the lesson to be learned is what's the point of progress if it doesn't make us better people? In other words, just clean the fucking poop. Right? And I imagine, like technology, and let's put technology into my example, right? You've got the poop right here, right? The poop. Technology says, hey, wait, take a picture of it with your smartphone. Bah, okay, let's put it on Facebook. We'll have a discussion about it. This is terrible. This is terrible. Terrible. Dun, dun, let's tag the friends on the street. Da, 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 da. The poop. Wait. I'll take a selfie and put it on Instagram. Poop rules. Yeah, poop rules. Then someone comes and says, hey, listen, if we find a good angle to this poop, maybe we can get it trending on Twitter, yeah? We just need to make it newsworthy. Let's find out who pooped and what the story behind that is. Okay. Then some smart guy says, hey. No, listen, let's start data mining this thing. Let's start putting tabs on this, and we'll discover who has ficophilia, who has a poop fetish. I don't know what will come of it. Let's just gather the data. Maybe we'll monetize it in 20, 30 years. Who knows, right? And in the meantime, nobody has cleaned up the damn poop. Right? You have all this other shit happening around that piece of shit, but nothing is happening. And what I've told myself is I have no time for technology which is not resolving the key problems we have. And we have huge problems. We have huge problems, right? And I wonder, like for example, when we talk about connection, sure, right? You're going to pull out a piece of software, which is helping you supposedly connect. But is it really connecting you? Or is it just feeding off your desire to connect? The software we are developing, is it going to help us solve these problems? Or is it just going to enslave us into another money-making scheme? This is a very serious question. And I think it's a question that everybody has to ask. Am I just in it for the buck? Or is this going to help humanity, right? Now, I personally don't like to moralize, so I actually think that the answer to the riddle is somewhere in the middle. You have to monetize, but you need to remember the human aspect. But even that, in my opinion, is not even important. This was before. Well, it's because our problems are human. They're not tech. Our big problems, the big wad of plastic we have in the ocean, it's not because of technology we have this problem. It's because we want to consume a lot of stuff. Because we have feelings that tell us that we must consume more things to satisfy certain desires. The geopolitical problems we have are based on some ego issues we have. The problems we have also with greed, they manifest themselves in all kinds of financial problems or in the unsustainable market economy we live in. These are the problems we must address. And again, I return to the thing. If God is in everything, if God is in the machines, all we need to do is become better people. Now, this is not a rhetorical question. It's not like, hey, let's just become better people. No. I just think you should love each other more. I think you should empathize more. Feel connected, like say, hey, I feel you. I feel for the kids in Syria. And I'm not just going to do the poop dance. Do something about it. Engage in it, right? A lot of people say, I'm a dreamer. They say, you're full of shit. I said, no. Because I rely on fun to help people tap into their emotions, right? For me, fun is like salt. It has no substance, but it makes everything taste better. It is like a catalyzer. You put a little salt, oh, even this tasteless piece of junk, oh, it tastes a bit better. For us to move into the emotional realm, you need to start through simple things. Laughing at a joke, connecting with somebody in one way or another. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I want to do with you today. You ready? Okay, very good. You can clap with me now. Thank you.